So, housing and residential life. Now, all of these titles that we have in our PowerPoint are actually the names of our offices here at Marist. But again, they might be called different, names at different institutions and universities. So obviously, residential life, it's an integral part of the total educational experience. A lot of students going away to college are going to be living away from home for the first time. And different suites and apartments and buildings are going to have different amenities. And some of those, we may not be, we may be used to having air conditioning or living on our own. And sometimes those are all parts of things that you're going to experience or not experience while living away from home for the first time. So basically, every college or university you go to, the main purpose of housing and residential life is to provide students with a safe, healthy, and attractive living environment. I always say to Kristen and Susan, I wish I was going to college now because it's like living in a country club, especially here at Marist. If you've never been here, our dorms and residence areas are beautiful. They're like hotels. So, but basically, to support and supplement that educational mission, because as we know, if we're not happy in our living environment and we're having difficulties in that area, it's going to be really hard to focus on the academic part of school. So again, most colleges provide quarter suite apartment and townhouse style residences. Here at Marist, we have actually 5 freshman buildings, and most of those are traditional style. So it's 2 people per room. You have a roommate. You have that one bathroom on the actual floor, and it's a community setting, so everybody's sharing everything. Our freshman areas do not have air conditioning. A lot of other schools do, but then as you go up in sophomore, junior, and senior year, there's air conditioning. It's more of apartment style. And then in our junior and senior housing, we have actually all singles. So that's really nice. And it's a nice way to start at freshman year and then be able to live in that environment your junior and senior year. So again, every school does it differently. Some have 4 people in a suite. Some people have 8 people in a house. So it really varies. But the biggest thing is thinking about what you're most comfortable with. And, when you go away to college, most schools are going to have you do some type of housing survey to kind of match you up with the appropriate roommate and to make sure that, your behaviors kind of match up with someone else's. So if you're a night person, maybe being matched up with someone else who's a night person and not a morning person. And then a lot of other colleges also have student leadership positions. So you could become a resident assistant who kind of oversees the floors in the different areas. We also have at Marist in particular, special interest housing. Most colleges have this. So it could be honors, multicultural floors, all different types of floors and housing. And, in particular in one of our freshman areas, we actually have a science floor. So anybody who's majoring in science or has an interest in science can live on that floor and request to live on that floor. New this year, we've actually had a women's athlete floor. So anybody who's an athlete, D1 athlete at Marist, and who has an interest on being in that floor, for leadership opportunities could actually, choose to live on that floor. And then again, that whole aspect of living with roommates and learning to get along with others. You may not love your roommate or want to hang out with them all the time, but it's okay if you can live with them and, be able to kind of negotiate who's going to bring the snacks, who's going to bring the refrigerator, and so on and so forth. And then, most colleges will have housing accommodations, that go through the Office of Accommodations. And here, a lot of times students need to request to live in a single room, or they might need to request to live near or a suite that has a bathroom in it for whatever medical or psychological situations that they're going through. So again, that's kind of the housing and residential life aspect of it. And then when you go to any college tour, this I think is the best part of it. You get to go into all these different residence halls and different type of townhouses or apartments or suites or dorms, and you can kind of see what the layout is for each of these different places. And again, the REs, the student leadership positions, they put on a lot of different programs in those buildings. So there's a lot of stuff to do and to get involved with in the evening time. So we move on to the next most important thing, which is food, right? To keep us sustained. So I always love this picture because it's our mascot. So plug in there for Marist. But, this is the dining services. So, most colleges are going to have dining plans. They're going to have a slew of dining facilities. A lot of them will have at big universities like name brand places like KFC, maybe a McDonald's, a Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it might be. So each college, has different venues and different, types of eating facilities. Some schools do like different pop-ups. So they might, showcase, I don't know, a particular meal that all students are interested in, or they might have like a Chick-fil-A pop-up or a smoothie pop-up or whatever it may be. They also sometimes have food trucks. A lot of times dining services will have different events. They really focus on nutrition and having that well-balanced meal every day. And then a lot of times they also have culinary councils, which is made up of, people from the college and also from the dining facility that the college has, that focuses on different themes or different events and different types of foods that students may be interested in that they're not offering currently. At Marist, we always have food trucks every weekend, and they're from different local places in our area. We always have theme nights. So sometimes we have like an Italian night, or we have a Harry Potter night. A bunch of different offices around campus also sometimes have like an awareness week for their office. So for example, our office has a disability awareness week every year. And we actually partner with dining services, and we do a couple of events with them about focus and attention. And then we usually do what's called our Valley table. So it kind of showcases like an entire meal that would be great for focus and attention, and that's related to disability awareness. As with dining services, we really focus on sustainable practices and educational programs. It's really a collaborative effort between the college and whatever dining services that they have hired. At Marist, we have Sodexo, and other schools have different, organizations that they work with as well. And, we try to bring in local and regional products, and that's really across the board, I think, for all dining facilities. So, moving right along is first year programs. So here, this is really a focus on first year students. So most students, when they're going away to college and they've decided on the college that they're going to go to, they're going to have some type of an orientation. Some schools do like an overnight orientation. At Marist in particular, we do a one-day orientation from about 9 to 5. Students go on one track and then parents go on another track. And it just really gives you a good overview of, what your first year is going to be like. You get to meet some faculty members, you get to, see what a class is like. You get to see what, the athletic facilities are, what the dorms look like. You get to take your housing survey, and so on and so forth. So that's a really big part of first year programs. They also do a lot of different programming throughout the year, and they focus on a personal development core, which is really looking at academic programs, programs that will help students emotionally, and then, of course, social programs, so fondue nights and fire pits and building that community within, the different dorms. Some schools will have a peer mentor program, so you can connect with an upperclassman, and they have a whole program that's outlined where you can work with an upperclassman and they can help you navigate through your first year. And then students who would be commuting, that would fall under first year programs as well. And there's all different types of events that commuters can get involved with on campus. A lot of schools have a commuter lounge or a place that students can go to if they are commuting and to kind of hang out in between classes. And then usually, after you move in, there's usually some type of welcome week. So there's usually like a week long of events that students can, go to, coffee houses and comedians and, pizza nights and things like that, to get students to get acclimated, to meet other people and really build that community. And again, every school is different. At Marist in particular, we have first year coordinators. So they are within the buildings, as well as the resident directors. And so these people are professional staff that live within the building and that are really there to help students with that transition and to really be successful during the first year, for that social, cognitive, and emotional challenges that they may experience.